Another fantastic milestone for Godzilla Minus One. It is about to, and in fact some reports are coming in that it has, crossed $100 million worldwide. Now that figure is absolutely staggering for this film. A lot of people will be bemused as to why that is so good. You know, $100 million, generally speaking, we scoff at and we go, well, that's laughable. That movie is a bomb. This movie was made on a budget of sub $15 million, which means this has raked in enormous profits for Toho. Enormous profits for Toho. In fact, when you look at its running total gross in Japan, it had already made profit in Japan alone, not least of all the rest of the world. And it's important to note when we go in and kind of look at these figures, which we will in a minute, the money that it made in Japan, it grossing $33 million in Japan is so monumental for this, because the company that made and also owns Godzilla, Toho, they actually own and run 33% of the theatres in Japan. So that was entirely profit. Obviously, running costs and the like, but it's not the same where, a studio has to break down a share of the profits for a theatre. Now, not a lot of movie commentators or box office commentators make a note of that, but it's really important to point that out, that Toho owns and runs 33% of all theatres in Japan, meaning they made incredible bank off of this film. So, let's take a look at this, because again, this film really has taken the world by storm and hopefully just destroys Hollywood's concept of what a good film is and makes them realise they can go back to normal, good storytelling. But we'll see. So, Godzilla can't be stopped by traditional military powers or at the North American box office. So it's been out for 6 weekends now, and they've consistently gone back and extended its run or added more theatres. Just unbelievable. So 6 weekends in North America, Godzilla Minus One is now estimated to gross just over $1 million to bring its North American total to $50.94 million. Now again, they say that the budget was $15 million. The director has come out and said he wished it was that much. It was less. Now, I have seen some figures report that it has grossed $100 million now. So we'll have to see. But currently they're saying it's 94.75. And we had tweets like this. This was only on the 12th. So tonight, Godzilla Minus One will break 50 million at the North American box office. Started its run with an opening weekend of 11.4, spent 4 weeks in the top 10, and will end up with nearly 5 times that amount, thanks to terrific legs and excellent word of mouth. Foreign language films rarely ever get this high, and that is true. They rarely do. And there were some more comments here, just hashtag Godzilla, and the comments coming through as well. I mean, everyone, still waiting to watch it, as God intended, at home. Disagree, but alright. This is a film absolutely worthwhile watching on the big screen. Absolutely worthwhile watching on the big screen. Through Monday, a Japanese import, Godzilla Minus One would have grossed nearly 51 million at the domestic box office, a towering achievement. But then we break down its... and this is why it's looking a little bit higher. So the initial reports were 94.75. Now I'm seeing figures here of 95.632. 784. But these numbers are truly incredible. Truly incredible. And we also have to note something which will be interesting to see how it sort of pans out, is Japan, as you can see down here, grossed 35.607 million, so 35.5 million is absolutely it's just insane. That is absolutely insane. That film broke even, is now into profit already just from its Japanese alone. You've also got to remember another factor that a lot of people haven't considered is the yen, the Japanese currency, is so bad right now against the dollar. So this money here, this 35.6, is incredible achievement, because that goes to show that the Japanese came out in true force. Again, the yen is terrible against the dollar. It's really bad. So that number is insane when you're thinking about it from that perspective. Again, these numbers that don't appear to be updated, 49.86. So I do think this has actually grossed $100 million. I'm very much certain I've seen those figures floating around. But again, you've got this weird figure here, 50.94, but this one hasn't updated itself either. So I don't really quite know, but either way, it's about that $100 million mark. This entire profit, essentially, I mean, that's just all profit to Toho. There are obviously some distributor fees, and yes, they've got to share it with the theatres. But even when you run that with all of those calculations into equation, Toho is taking home an insane payday. An insane payday. So good that this film has achieved the success that it has. But the reason why I point out the Japanese market is, I believe it's this month or next, Japan is re-releasing Godzilla -1, but it's Godzilla -1 minus colour. They're doing a special black and white version of the film, which will extend its Japanese run if they choose to count this as the same film, which technically it is the same film. It's a different visual version though. And this movie and that movie for Godzilla fans, they're going to really want to watch that film, because it's black and white. It's been completely reworked from the ground up, changing visual effects, adjusting color grading, re-editing everything. And you know, for the people that enjoyed this film to that sort of level, they will get and watch that. They will support that. And that will add even more money to this phenomenal pile of cash that Toho has now taken home. So again, interesting to report on how good Godzilla is performing at the box office. It's a great film. If you haven't watched it already, you really should, because it's an absolutely crowning achievement for Toho to be out of the game for as long as they have, and then to come back with this. They really need to lock down Takashi Yamazaki, the director, for another film. 100% they do. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. This is just an interesting piece of box office report. But drop your thoughts down below. Take care. Bye bye now.